Hello, and yes, I'm back with not just like talking about a bunch of comics, a list, this sort of thing. I'm actually gonna do a quick review and a recommendation for all of the 50 people that'll probably watch this. But hey, maybe that's 50 more people that will buy this than were going to buy it before. And that is Kirby Genesis, by the same duo that gave us. I talked about this on, I think, the first video I did, talking about my pull list, that this would be on there because I had good feelings about this. And after reading the first, well, not the first issue, but the Zero issue, I wanted to actually come on here and talk about it because I thought it was that good. If you don't know what Kirby Genesis is a book, a comic. It's going to be a miniseries done by Kurt Busiek and Alex Ross. These are the same two guys that did Marvels, which to me is one of, maybe the top five um, comic book, graphic, whatever you want to call it, comic book stories ever told, and I would put it up there. I wouldn't necessarily say, if you were going to say superhero stories, because it's not really a superhero story. It has superheroes in it, but it's not your traditional superhero stories. And a lot of stuff that was done in Marvels, Kurt Busiek wound up doing in Astro City as well, as far as the same type of themes. Literally, I read Marvels probably every 3 or 4 months. I mean, I like it that much. The art is beautiful, all of that. But this isn't about Marvels. This is about this. And the same guys got together and did Kirby Genesis. And what Kirby Genesis is, kind of an ode to Jack Kirby, quote unquote, the king of comics. If you don't know who Jack Kirby is, then you need to learn if you like comics, because he is the #1 influence, um, as far as comic book writers, or comic book, not writers, but comic book, well, probably writers too, but comic book artists go. He was the main guy with Stan Lee to create a lot of the Marvel Universe. He also created tons of other stuff for DC, for Marvel, for just about anything, and he created his own stuff. And that's really kind of what this is about. This is, he had, when he died, he had tons of stuff that was half finished. He had some stuff that he was doing that they hadn't quite finished yet, and so this is kind of Kurt Busiek and Alex Ross kind of taking that and doing this story, kind of doing this story with his characters and his ideas and that sort of thing. So this is a Zero issue, and I wouldn't normally talk about a Zero issue because Zero issues are usually crappy in my opinion. They're usually not very good. This one, though, may be one of the, probably the best I've ever read, as far as you pick it up, read through it, and makes you want to get the comic. This is also $1, by the way, so if you can find it. Apparently this is not easy to find. I found it fairly easy, but apparently I've been told not the easiest thing to find, because you got comic book shops that didn't think this was going to sell very well for some stupid reason. I don't know. Just because it's a Zero issue. But it's 12. The actual comic story is 12 pages. Very good. If you look at the art, the story is excellent by Kurt Busiek. If you look at the art is done in a Jack Kirby style. So even though Alex Ross's name is on it, I don't mean this is sound weird. Alex Ross did all the layouts. He does all the covers, of course, but he did the layouts. So basically, he would come up with the idea of what the page is supposed to look at like, and then Jack Herbert would go back and actually do the pages, and they made it intentionally look like a Jack Kirby comic, which is awesome. It's colored like that. It's just an awesome. It looks awesome. I'm not gonna lie. It got me excited as soon as I saw the interiors of this. Really good. Then there's 18 pages of just stuff, of like background material, explaining what this is going to be, explaining kind of who the characters are, that sort of thing, which is really good. And I really do think if you have a chance, you need to pick this up. It's $1. pick it up, read it, see if it's for you. The art might throw some people off. It may be a little too much of one of those woo comics for some people, because this will definitely deal with a lot of Jack Kirby's stories, a lot of his concepts are very much the same. That's probably the one knock that a lot of people have against him, is that a lot of his concepts, stories, character designs were a lot of rehash stuff, which isn't necessarily bad, because a lot of his stuff was stuff that he wanted to tell that he wasn't able to tell for various reasons, and so, you know, I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. But it's definitely one of those big intergalactic kind of stories that some people don't like, and I understand that. But I would definitely recommend. It's $1. The art is very good. The covers, of course, you know, Alex Ross covers will get you in, and then once you see the art, and I will say this: if you look at it, it does look like an Alex Ross book, just without the pretty painted insides. Though there is some Alex Ross stuff in here, but very good stuff. The only zero issue I would put even close to this would be the one for Artifacts, which is a very different type, because that was more of, okay, for all of you people that might want to get into this event that Top Cow did, Artifacts, they came out with a zero issue to explain who everyone is, kind of the background story and all of that. That's not so much the case here, though they do a good job of explaining kind of the background story. It's more of an introduction. This is more of, okay, here's this universe, here's your kind of introduction to it, and let's start. So there you go. But I just wanted to come on here because I've read this about 5 times now. Yeah, it's that good. My hat goes off to Kurt Busiek. I love when Kurt Busiek does classic superhero stories. I think right now he may be the best guy at that, to be honest. And then Alex Ross's stuff is always good. Just really good stuff. Excellent stuff, and good work all the way around. And like I said, I just wanted to come on here and say, go out and buy this book if you can find it. It's like I said, it's $1. It's definitely worth checking out. You know, and honestly, this was one where I read it, was like, oh my God, I want issue 1 now. And that very rarely happens, where I automatically want to, you know, I want to read the next, you know, story. But, you know, this is one of those books that I wish had been released right off the bat in trade form, but, you know, we're never going to get that, where, you know, these miniseries are released like that, which I understand, it's a deal. But so anyways, I've rambled about this book enough. Excellent stuff. Definitely go check it out. Oh, if you're curious about what the story is about, by the way, I will tell you what the story is about. The story is kind of this concept where the idea is Jack Kirby, which he did do, but didn't get put on this. The story is Jack Kirby got to put to symbolize humanity, one of his drawings, and so he did, and it was one of the Pioneer space probes, and so they stuck one of his drawings on there, which looks like these superhero type guys, and sent it out into space, and this satellite gets sent out and goes through some wacky stuff, and you get introduced to all of these wacky Kirby-like characters, and then it looks like some of these characters are going to make it back to Earth, that the message went out to, hey, we come in peace, come see us, and now their people are going to, you know, come see them. The question is, who's going to come see them? The humans that are on this are a guy actually named Kirby, and I can't remember who the girl was. I can't remember her name, but yeah, looks like it's gonna be pretty good stuff. Like I said, go check it out. I've rambled about it long enough. Most of you probably won't watch all of this. I understand, but again, highest recommendation from me. Go. It's $1. You can find it. Pick it up. With that, I'm out. Later.